Have you ever felt constantly under pressure, with that knot in your stomach that seems to never go away? In today's world, stress and anxiety are almost constant presences, exacerbated by a continuous bombardment of often alarming information. In this video, we'll discuss how anxiety and chronic stress affect our body and mind, and discuss concrete strategies to reduce their effects and better manage cortisol levels. You know, I realize that we often feel as if we're always in danger, don't we? This feeling may seem exaggerated, but it comes from a real place. We are constantly bombarded with news and information that puts us on alert. It's as if our brain is always waiting for the next problem to face. Let me tell you a story that illustrates this well. Imagine you're relaxing at home and suddenly receive a notification on your phone. Your heart races, you tense up, only to find out it was just an alert for a promotion. This reaction is a response from our primitive brain, which is still programmed to react to immediate threats, even if they aren't real. This constant state of vigilance comes from the way information is presented to us. Much news is focused on problems, catastrophes, and dangers, often without proposing solutions or showing another side of the coin. This keeps us in constant tension, as if we were always in a state of emergency. The truth is, despite the real problems that exist, we are not in a constant crisis. However, the way information is delivered to us makes it seem so. This has a price. Our well-being and mental health can be seriously affected. It is important to recognize this pattern so that we can start changing the way we interact with the world around us and protect our mental health. After all, we don't need to be in a constant state of alert to be informed and prepared for what really matters. Changing the way we perceive the risks around us can really make a big difference in our quality of life. Let's think together. How many times have we encountered situations that initially seem threatening, but after careful analysis are not so serious? For example, imagine you're walking down a dark street and see a shadow moving. Immediately your heart races and you prepare for the worst. However, as you approach, you realize it was just a flag waving in the wind. Our first reaction is often exaggerated, influenced by this constant threat perception we mentioned earlier. This is a crucial point. Many of the risks we perceive are amplified, whether by the media, which often highlights the negative to capture our attention, or even by stories we hear from people close to us. These amplified risks lead us to live in fear of threats that, most of the time, are not so likely. This is where the importance of developing critical thinking about the information we receive comes in. When we begin to question and critically analyze the news and information that comes to us, we can put these threats in a more realistic perspective. This does not mean ignoring real dangers, but understanding better which are genuine and which are exaggerated. Adopting this change of perspective helps us reduce unnecessary anxiety and focus our energy and concerns on truly important issues. This contributes not only to our mental health, but also to a more balanced society, where fear is not the main motivator of our actions. So, the next time you encounter alarming information, try to ask yourself, is this threat real and imminent, or is it being amplified? This simple question can help you stay calm and respond more appropriately to situations. Have you ever stopped to think about the amount of information we consume every day and how it affects us? In our digital age, we are inundated with news 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and knowing how to filter what we watch and read is more crucial than ever. To start, let's understand what it means to consume media critically. It's not just about choosing between watching one newscast or another, or between reading a printed newspaper or online articles. It's about questioning the origin of the information, understanding who is transmitting it, and what the purpose behind that transmission is. Let me give you a practical example. You receive an alarming news alert on your phone saying that a new study has discovered that eating red berries can increase the risk of a serious illness. Before you panic and eliminate red berries from your diet, it would be important to verify this information. Who conducted the study? Was it published in a reliable source? Are there other studies that confirm or deny this claim? By developing the habit of asking these questions, we begin to filter the information that we allow into our lives better. This filter helps us avoid unnecessary panic and the anxiety that often accompanies sensationalist news or information without solid scientific grounding. Another super important factor is our social choices, and the type of content we consume can really influence our perception of well-being and safety. This topic is extremely relevant, as it directly involves the environment we create around us, both physical and digital. Think about your social networks, for example. Are they full of alarmist news and negativity? Or do you choose to follow pages that share inspiring, educational, and positive content? The difference between these two types of feed can significantly impact how you feel during the day. A practical example of this can be seen in the choices we make about who to follow or which groups to join. Let's say you're in a group that frequently shares sensationalist news and conspiracy theories. Even if you initially don't take these things seriously, constant exposure to this type of content can start to make you feel more anxious, worried, or even paranoid. This happens because our brain begins to absorb this information as if it were a frequent reality, which amplifies our perception of threat. On the other hand, if you choose to participate in groups that discuss solutions to local problems, share personal successes, or promote positive actions in the community, you'll probably feel more hopeful and motivated. Being surrounded by positive and constructive messages can strengthen your sense of community and optimism. In addition to social networks, personal interactions also play a crucial role. Choosing to be with people who see the world in a more balanced way and who focus on solutions rather than just problems can completely change your own perspective. Imagine the difference between a friend who always talks about everything bad that's happening and another who points out the beauties and possibilities around. Who do you think you would feel better with? Therefore, making conscious choices about who we interact with and what we consume in terms of media is not just a matter of preference, but an essential strategy to maintain a healthy mind and a balanced lifestyle. When we talk about stress, we often think about its emotional effects, such as anxiety and the feeling of being overwhelmed. However, the impacts of stress go much further, deeply affecting our physical health. Let's understand how this happens. First, it's important to understand that stress activates a biological response in our body, known as the fight or flight response. This response releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which prepare our body to face a threat. While this is beneficial in situations of real danger, the problem arises when this response is triggered frequently due to chronic stress. Immune system suppression. One of the most worrying effects of chronic stress is the suppression of our immune system. When we are stressed, our body produces fewer defense cells, making us more vulnerable to infections and diseases. This means that during periods of prolonged stress, we can get sick more easily and have more difficulty recovering. Reduced fertility. Stress can also negatively affect fertility. In men, it can reduce sperm production, and in women, it can affect the menstrual cycle, making conception more difficult. Metabolic changes. Under stress, our body also alters its metabolism. For example, it may start to produce more glucose to provide quick energy for a rapid response to a threat. However, in situations of chronic stress, this can lead to an increased risk of diabetes, as the body is left with excess circulating glucose. Increased risk of heart disease. Chronic stress can raise blood pressure and levels of bad cholesterol, increasing the risk of heart diseases. Additionally, constant emotional tension can lead to unhealthy habits, such as smoking or overeating, which are also risk factors for cardiovascular diseases, digestion, and detoxification problems. Another concerning aspect is how stress can inhibit digestion and detoxification. Under stress, our body diverts energy from non-essential processes for immediate survival, such as digestion. This can lead to gastrointestinal problems, in addition to reducing the efficiency with which our body eliminates toxins. Reduction in nutrient absorption. Finally, stress can impact the way our body absorbs nutrients, such as vitamin D, essential for bone and immune health. This occurs because stress interferes with the intestine's ability to absorb nutrients efficiently. Given these facts, it's clear that managing stress is not just a matter of emotional comfort, but a health necessity. When we exercise, our body performs several biological functions that are essential to mitigate the effects of stress. First, Physical exercise stimulates the production of neurotransmitters, such as endorphins, often known as the happiness hormone. These natural brain chemicals are powerful painkillers and raise our mood, reducing the sensation of pain and promoting a general sense of well-being. Moreover, physical activity helps regulate sleep. Many people who suffer from chronic stress also struggle with sleep problems, such as insomnia or interrupted sleep. Exercising regularly can help normalize your sleep patterns, which is crucial, as quality sleep is a key component for the body and mind's recovery. Exercise also plays an important role in reducing cortisol levels, the stress hormone. During physical activity, the body uses cortisol productively as part of the energy mobilization process. By maintaining an exercise routine, we can help keep cortisol levels in a healthy balance, avoiding the spikes that occur during periods of acute stress. A clear example of the benefits of exercise can be seen in people who regularly practice aerobic activities. Studies show that running, swimming, or cycling can significantly reduce the symptoms of depression and anxiety. This occurs because these activities not only combat stress physically, but also offer a mental distraction, allowing the person to temporarily step away from daily worries. Finally, physical exercise can also act as a social regulator, promoting interaction with other people, which can reduce feelings of isolation and loneliness that often accompany chronic stress. Participating in running groups, group fitness classes, or team sports creates a social support network that is vital for emotional well-being. Therefore, adopting a regular exercise routine is not just beneficial for the body, it is a fundamental strategy to maintain mental health. By integrating physical activity into our lives, we can significantly improve our ability to handle stress, increasing our resilience and quality of life. We've discussed how the constant sensation of threat can saturate our lives with stress and anxiety, and how we can mitigate these effects through a conscious change in our perceptions and habits. Implementing regular exercise routines, wisely choosing what we consume from the media, and reassessing our social perceptions are essential steps for a less stressful and healthier life. I hope this video has provided valuable insights and useful practices that you can start applying today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Activate notifications to not miss any new videos. Share this with friends or family who may benefit from the information, and leave a comment telling us what you think or sharing your own stress management strategies. Thank you for watching. Take care and see you next time.